Across television history, few reality shows have turned ordinary people into recognizable public figures the way Storage Wars did. Among its breakout personalities was Jarrod Schulz, often introduced as part of the Young Guns alongside Brandy Passante. The narrative built around him was one of transformation, a man with a troubled past attempting to build a stable future through hard work, risk-taking, and entrepreneurship. What made his story compelling to viewers was the contrast between his earlier mistakes and his later success on screen. Over time, his personality, confidence, and on-screen competitiveness helped turn Storage Auctions into must-watch television. However, behind the entertainment value, his life story contained layers of legal troubles, financial setbacks, and personal struggles that shaped his path long before fame arrived. The show amplified both his successes and his flaws, eventually making his private life a subject of public discussion far beyond what he may have anticipated when he first stepped into the spotlight. Early troubles and a turning point in youth, long before television cameras followed him. Jarrod Schulz's early adulthood was marked by legal issues that shaped his outlook on life. In his early 20s, he was arrested in connection with drug-related offenses, including possession of methamphetamine, which led to a serious legal case. Although he initially received what appeared to be a lenient sentence involving short jail time and probation, subsequent violations quickly escalated his situation. A return arrest within a short period, reportedly involving additional drug-related activity and driving under the influence, resulted in a harsher consequence, a state prison sentence of approximately 16 months. This period became a defining chapter in his personal history, exposing him to the realities of incarceration and forcing him to reconsider his future direction. While prison did not erase his past behavior, it became a moment of reflection that influenced his decision to pursue a more stable, lawful path after release. Life after prison and rebuilding from nothing after serving his sentence and leaving state custody. Jarrod Schulz faced the difficult reality of rebuilding his life with a felony record. Employment opportunities were limited, and stability was far from guaranteed. During this transitional period, he took on practical work, including a position in sales management for a carpet cleaning business in California. While the job itself was modest, it provided a legal income and a sense of structure that had previously been missing. Around this time, he met Brandy Passante, a relationship that would become central to both his personal and professional life for many years. Their partnership was built on mutual trust and shared ambition, even though Schulz carried the weight of his past mistakes. Together, they began forming a household and eventually welcomed children, creating a foundation that motivated him to pursue more ambitious financial goals. This phase marked the beginning of his shift toward entrepreneurship. Family life and the rise of ambition as Jarrod Schulz and Brandy Passante built their family life. Their ambitions expanded beyond regular employment. They had 2 children together and developed a shared determination to achieve financial independence. During the early 2000s housing boom, Schulz entered the mortgage industry, where he experienced a period of relative financial success. Like many others in the sector at the time, he benefited from a booming real estate market that offered rapid growth opportunities. However, the success was short-lived. When the housing market collapsed in the mid to late 2000s, his business efforts were severely affected. The financial downturn not only eliminated his income stream, but also disrupted the stability he had been working to create for his family. This collapse became another major turning point, reinforcing a recurring pattern in his life: periods of rapid progress followed by sudden setbacks beyond his control. The storage auction opportunity that changed everything after the financial collapse. Schulz was introduced to storage auctions through a family connection, which would ultimately alter the course of his life. What initially seemed like a side opportunity quickly evolved into a new business direction. Storage auctions involved bidding on abandoned storage units in hopes of finding valuable items, a risky but potentially profitable venture. Schulz and Passante entered this world as underdogs, often competing against more experienced and better-funded bidders. Their dynamic approach, combined with natural chemistry and occasional conflict, made them stand out when Storage Wars premiered in 2010. The show quickly gained popularity, turning everyday auction battles into entertainment. Their presence helped define the tone of the series, and they became known for their competitive energy and relatable struggles. This opportunity not only restored financial stability, but also unexpectedly launched them into television fame. Fame, television success, and public identity, the success of Storage Wars transformed Jarrod Schulz from a struggling entrepreneur into a recognizable television personality. As the show gained millions of viewers, he and Brandy Passante became central figures in its narrative. Their on-screen interactions, often filled with humor, tension, and strategy, helped define the show's appeal. Financially, the success was significant, with reports suggesting substantial earnings per episode during peak popularity. Beyond income, the exposure created opportunities for appearances, business ventures, and spin-off programming that further increased their visibility. However, fame also came with pressure. Their private relationship became public property, and every disagreement or business decision was scrutinized by audiences. While the show portrayed success and redemption, it also placed their personal lives under constant observation, blurring the line between entertainment and reality in ways that added long-term strain to their relationship. Business ventures and financial struggles beyond television. Despite television success, Jarrod Schulz attempted to build independent businesses that could sustain him beyond reality TV. One of the most notable efforts was a thrift store venture run with Brandy Passante. The goal was to create a stable, long-term income source separate from television contracts. However, the business faced challenges from the beginning. A second location was opened in Long Beach but closed within a short period, and the original store eventually shut down as well. These closures highlighted the difficulty of translating television fame into consistent business success. Although Storage Wars provided publicity, it did not guarantee profitability in real-world retail operations. For Schulz, these setbacks mirrored earlier financial struggles, reinforcing a pattern of instability despite repeated attempts at entrepreneurship. The contrast between television success and business failure became increasingly difficult to ignore over time. Strain in a long-term relationship over nearly 2 decades, the relationship between Jarrod Schulz and Brandy Passante evolved from partnership to parenthood and professional collaboration. While they were never legally married, their bond functioned as a family unit, built on shared responsibilities and business ventures. However, over time, strains began to surface. In later seasons of Storage Wars, viewers noticed a shift in their interactions, with reduced chemistry and more visible tension. By 2018, reports confirmed that the couple had separated, though they continued working together professionally for a period. Passante later described navigating single parenthood while balancing public life. The separation marked a significant emotional turning point for Schulz, as it affected not only his personal life, but also his television presence and business relationships. The end of their partnership reshaped both their roles on the show and their public identities moving forward. Public incident and legal allegations in 2021, Jarrod Schulz became the subject of public attention following an incident at a bar in Orange County involving Brandy Passante. According to reports and allegations, an argument between the former partners escalated, resulting in claims that Schulz pushed Passante during the confrontation. Law enforcement later became involved, and he was charged with a misdemeanor domestic violence-related offense. Schulz denied the allegations, and the case drew significant media coverage due to their fame from storage wars. Passante later shared public messages reflecting emotional recovery and independence, which many interpreted as referencing the broader difficulties in their past relationship. The incident marked a major shift in how the public viewed Schulz, moving away from his television persona and focusing instead on legal and personal controversy. It also intensified scrutiny of his behavior outside of the show's controlled environment. Career fallout and departure from television following the public incident and legal proceedings, Jarrod Schulz's presence on Storage Wars effectively ended. Although some episodes featuring him had already been filmed, subsequent seasons proceeded without his involvement. The network did not provide extensive public commentary, but his absence from later seasons was widely interpreted as a professional separation. Brandy Passante remained part of the series, continuing her role independently. For Schulz, this marked the end of a major chapter in his life, as the show had been both his primary income source and his public identity for over a decade. Losing that platform meant not only financial change, but also the loss of visibility and influence that came with being a television personality. His departure underscored how quickly public careers in reality television can shift when personal controversies arise. Life after fame and present circumstances after stepping away from television, Jarrod Schulz shifted focus toward managing a bar and grill business in Southern California. This venture provided a more private, grounded lifestyle compared to the visibility of reality TV. Reports suggest he became less publicly active on social media and maintained a lower profile in general. In his personal life, he entered a new relationship with a partner who works in the hospitality industry. Meanwhile, his children transitioned into adulthood, growing up amid years of public attention surrounding their family. Today, his life appears centered on data, business operations rather than media appearances. While he no longer occupies the spotlight he once held, his name remains associated with Storage Wars and the events that shaped his public trajectory. His current chapter reflects a quieter existence compared to the peak of his television fame. Conclusion on a life of highs and lows. The story of Jarrod Schulz reflects a life shaped by cycles of setbacks, reinvention, and public scrutiny. From early legal troubles to prison, from financial collapse to television fame, and later from professional success to personal controversy, his journey has been marked by constant change. Storage Wars provided him with an opportunity to rebuild his image and achieve mainstream recognition, but it also exposed his personal life to intense public observation. Over time, business struggles and relationship breakdowns added further complexity to his story. Today, his life exists outside the television spotlight that once defined him, centered instead on business and personal relationships away from mainstream media attention. His narrative remains a reminder of how quickly public success can shift, and how personal history often continues to influence even the most visible transformations.